after going back and watching this weekend? Any different takeaways from when you watched initially?
No, I think we played okay, and we need to improve in certain moments, especially with pressing the ball. We've gone over that again this morning with the players on a video session, and it's overall it's been good for us to understand that when one presses, everybody presses, and getting success from that leads into believing it a little bit more.
I think pressing is difficult to do for all 90 minutes. So how do you go about telling the players when to pick and choose the moments? Is there a trigger or something like that?
That's a really, really good question, because the opposition don't have the ball for 90 minutes, so that's really why we can't do it for 90 minutes. So we're fine with doing it when we need to do it.
Is there something like that? It's like
No, obviously there is. I mean, you've got certain triggers that you want to do if the opponent's not got full control of the ball, if the opponent's facing his own goal, and if one player closes the space down and you've got your numbers up, you've got a numerical advantage, you want to keep that and press the ball. So yeah, there is a trigger for it, but I'm really pleased that the opposition don't have it for a full 90 minutes, because I don't think we could do that for 90 minutes either.
It'd be a little different. I think kind of lost in the shuffle this weekend was the fact that you just beat the reigning champs. As markers go, that's probably one of the better ones so far.
Yeah, I mean they're a good team, and we reduced their opportunities at our goal to very, very few. They had a lot of possession, and you can see that that's the style that they want to try and break you down and make you lose concentration by having the ball a lot. But I thought our players were excellent in that when they needed to defend, especially late on in the second half, they defended. They made sure that they defended the most important part of the game, which is our goal. And for the last sort of 15-20 minutes, we were not under that much pressure in terms of attempts at goal. Maybe they had a lot of the ball, but they didn't really cause us any problems.
Obviously, the results I'm sure you're happy with right now, but in terms of what you're seeing on the field, what's the one thing that you're most satisfied with at the moment?
Belief and confidence, but we need to improve that as well. It's where do we get goals from? We get them from crosses, we get them from overloads, we get them from winning the ball back. If you look at the 2 goals that we scored on Saturday, one's a penalty, but it came from a cross. It came from getting the ball wide, putting the ball in the box. Jack makes a run, and it's a penalty. If they don't foul him, then there's a good chance that might go in the back of the net. In Jack's quality that he's got in them areas at that specific moment. And the second one came from pressure. Because Elliot, goes and closes the goal, even though it's a free kick. Elliot wins that by closing the ball down and putting the opposition under pressure. So that belief and understanding that where we get his goals from. And then obviously the defensive structure, because I think the lads playing at the back have done really well along with Hunter.
It's going well enough, and I think that it's going well enough that I think people are starting to probably pay a little more attention to what you're doing tactics-wise and stuff like that. So as they sort of see what you're doing with the back 3 or back 5, whatever you want to call it, do you have to put any more wrinkles in to throw something new at the other team? Or
I think it's not. It's difficult, it's not an easy decision to make, but if they do cover one area of the field that we think we're strong in, then that means that they're weak in another area of the field that we need to exploit, and that's basically what we'll be working on this week. That like you said, teams have looked at what we've done, been on a good run, but now we need to find a different way. If they cover what we've been good at, if they cover that area of the field, that tactic that we use, then we'll have to expose somewhere else on the field.
The league did a short piece, I think yesterday or the day before, on Josh O'Brien, and just kind of his improvement in the new system. What have you seen from him in terms of improvement in the last month or so?
I think he's grown in confidence. He's a player who's a young player, but he's got an old head on his shoulders, sort of thing, because he's had a lot of experience in the pro game. He went and became a professional early. He left the US and went across to the UK, and I think that grounding has probably, served him well in terms of understanding of the game for such a young age. And he started the season well. He had a great pre-season. Then he had a little bit of a dip. So I'm really pleased that he's fought through that adversity and he's got himself going again. And he's playing really well.
When you're fully healthy at the back, how do you go about choosing who you're going to play?
It's pretty simple, really. The players in form and the ones who aren't. Who aren't in the team need to understand that they'll get the chance, sooner or later. We've only done a third of the season. We've got a lot of games coming up, so, that rotation might happen naturally rather than us forcing it through.
In terms of injuries, I know there's guys working back. I know Tago was out at the weekend. What updates can you provide us there?
We're all pretty good to start with. You know, obviously with having so many games in such a short period of time, we're a little bit stiff and sore and stuff. But we'll take some time to recover tomorrow. We'll have a recovery day, a different type session, and then we'll go again Thursday and Friday. And you know, we've got to be mindful of the fact that we're on a long bus journey up to Pittsburgh, but we've got to go there with a fresh attitude. And I'm not really a big one for being on a run. You know, it starts again. The month of June starts in terms of games. We've got 4 games. We've got to get as many points as we can in that month.
Pittsburgh won the East last year, at least in the regular season. Their form to start the season hasn't necessarily been on that level, but what do you see when you look at them?
You know, I watched the game they played at Memphis, and you know, their results form has not been probably what they want, but their performances have not been that bad. You know, they've still got threats in the team that can hurt you, and one thing you are going to get when you get, you know, into that stadium and that environment, they're going to give you a tough game. It's going to be very competitive, and we're going to have to match that, be strong enough, and then try and put our game on top of them.